Hello everybody, my name is Tammy with Autistic Wiki, and today is April 5th, so day 5 of the 30 Days of Autism challenge. I don't know if it's a challenge, but 30 Days of Autism. So today's topic is coming out at work. So I've done this to a small degree, only twice so far. The first time it was a very bad experience and I wouldn't recommend it again. And then just recently I started a new job. In software development at a new company, and I just disclosed to my boss right away that I was autistic, because he was asking things like what is your, how do you like to be managed? What is your communication style? Blah, 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 the questions they ask you. So I told him that I'm autistic, so hey, I prefer you be direct and you just say what you mean, and blah, 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 and this sort of thing. And sometimes I ask a lot of questions. It's just because I want to get things clear in my mind, because you might say something and I can instantly think of like 40 different ways to take it. So I just want to ask a lot of questions to make sure I'm on the same path that you are. So things like that. So we'll see how it goes. He does have people with autism in his family, so it might go okay, I hope. I guess it depends on what he thinks of autism. I guess I don't know. So it's time will tell if it's going to be a problem or not. In my previous job, I was working in tech support, and I had been working there for, at the time it had probably been around maybe like 6-7 years, something like that. It had been a long time. And we got this email coming out from like the security team or the facilities team, and they said that they're going to be testing the fire alarm systems within the next week, and they said it's going to be a random test. We're not going to tell you when it's going to be. It's just, it could happen at any time, because we want to test our ability to get out of the building when an alarm goes off, to see if we're doing our stuff right. So as soon as I got that email, I just started getting really tense, because a trigger for me is fire alarms, like the smoke detectors in your house, like the beeps that they have. I can't handle that at all. I can't handle it. It just, it like short circuits my brain, and I can't function, and I can't, and just the thought of it stresses me out. So so I told my boss that, and I was like, can you just tell me when it's going to be, because I'm stressing out and I can't deal with it, and I'm not going to make it a week if it, not knowing when it's going to be. Like I just can't function like this. And she's like, no, we can't tell you because it's going to be a random test, so not even I know. And I knew she was lying, so I'm like, all right, look, I'm going to tell you something, but I need to stay between us, because I just don't want people to know. And I told her that I'm autistic, and just the sound of the fire alarm just makes me shut down, and I can't function, and I'm going to be a mess, and I'm going to be like wound up tight all week just waiting for that alarm to go off at any second. And when it does, like, I'm at that point, I might be so wound up that I just start screaming or crying and not being able to do something. You don't obviously want that. It's not going to look good. So then she's like, okay, it's going to be on Friday at 3 p.m. or whenever it was. So I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. So like when that time came around, I was just like ready to go, like watching the clock tick away, knowing that it's going to come up now. Even then it was really, really hard for me, but it was better having that few minutes up until the 3 p.m. where I knew it was going to happen, instead of a week long if it can happen at any second. Now the thing is, after I disclosed to her, all of a sudden she started treating me differently. Prior to this, I was a good employee. I had a good record, no problems. I was reliable. I'm the kind of employee where, you just tell you what you do, and then I just go do it. Like, I don't need to be babysat. I don't need people, watching over me. I do my job, and I keep myself busy, and I stay out of trouble, and and that's that. And one thing that I used to do a lot at that job was I used to send out a lot of emails to the floor, to help my agents, just with different things that we do at work, just different things to help them out. And I was just kind of known for it, like people call me the email lady, just because I used to send out a lot of emails. But I mean, they weren't like annoying, like nonstop thing. It was just like when something helpful tip would come up, I would send it out. I would, put together a good email and send it out. So after I disclosed to her, all of a sudden I was not allowed to send out emails anymore unless I sent it to her first to be edited, because I could no longer be trusted, because you people have a communication issue. You people don't know how to communicate with others, and you don't know how to talk to others. So suddenly I was no longer able to coach my agents, really, without supervision, because you guys don't know how to talk to people. I wasn't allowed to send out emails that I had been doing for years and years and years with no issue. All of a sudden I wasn't allowed to send out emails because I couldn't be trusted with communication. Just lots of little things like that. Like when it came up time for, like if there was like a lateral move in the company or promotion, and I told her, hey, I'm thinking of going for this, and she'd be like, no, that's not a good thing for you. You people aren't good for stuff like that. Like it was bad. It was just really bad. And first of all, she shouldn't be doing that anyways. But second of all, like I said, like I had been working there for years and years and years, and had developed a reputation as being reliable and somebody you could trust. And all of a sudden, all of that was just wiped away in an instant because I had told her that I was autistic. So I was very disappointed that had happened. And you can't unring the bell. Once you tell somebody, you can't change it. Everybody has got their, we all see the world through our own filter. So if she believes that autistic people are just somebody who are just not capable of handling positions of leadership and writing emails and coaching agents, everything that I had been doing in my job for years, then in her eyes, I'm suddenly untrustworthy, and I can no longer do my job, and I'm not worthy of promotion. And so luckily she moved on to a different position after maybe like a year and a half or 2 years or something like that. And I don't think she told the next manager, because the next manager never mentioned it to me or never said anything. But that was a long year and a half, just kind of dealing with that, because like, what am I going to do? Like I said, you can't unring the bell. Once it's out there, you can't change it. So for a long time, my position was, after that happened, my position was, I'm never going to tell anybody again. This is my secret for the rest of my life. I'm never going to tell anybody. But I don't think that's the answer either. Because I think a large part of people being comfortable around us and being aware of autism, and just knowing that we deserve to be here too, right? It kind of feels like we have to justify our space by being a savant in some area, by having a superpower. And that's not the case, because normal people don't have superpowers. Normal people don't have all these wonderful abilities that they can point to. I mean, a lot of them are just exceedingly average, if not less. and they all feel justified in being here. And yet I think a lot of disabled people or people with any condition kind of feel that sense of, I have to justify my space. I have to justify my right to exist and to have access to resources and to be here and to have a right to a job and to have a right to anything, right? So a part of me was thinking that really the only way to change that thinking in people is if they see us and they reckon, they come to learn over time that we've always been here, they've always been interacting with us, and it's okay. We are capable of doing things, with it when we want, or just like a typical neurotypical, we can also do nothing. We could just be kind of a lazy and skate by on the minimum necessary. We can do that too. We don't all have to be high achievers. So a part of me thinks that that we should be open about our condition so that there can be more awareness of it in the general public. And I also feel a sense of obligation, because I can mask and I can hide it to some extent. Like, I can't, nobody thinks that I'm neurotypical. Nobody thinks that I'm normal. But people don't immediately assume that I'm autistic. So I can hide it if I want to. But a part of me feels guilty doing that, because what about all of my autistic peers who can't hide it, right? Like, they're just kind of out there kind of doing the hard work for all of us, and that's not really fair to them. I mean, we should be kind of giving them air cover and helping them out. So I feel obligated that I should do more to be more open about my autism. It's hard, but I started thinking that I would do that. So when I got this new job, I did come out. I only told my immediate boss. I haven't told all my coworkers or anything. I am working in software development, so overall it should be a relatively acceptable environment to be autistic, although my previous job was tech support, and you would think that would be, acceptable place to see a lot of autistics. There was a lot of people working there that I know were on the spectrum, but they were not out, so I never asked them. I never, kind of don't ask, don't tell. I didn't say anything. If they don't want to come out, I'm not going to ask them. But yeah, I am tentatively out. Definitely out at work. I haven't mentioned it to my coworkers, but then again, I don't want to. Still, I've only been there for like 2 months, and I just don't want to like dump it on people. Like, if it comes up in a way where it can just be inserted casually, that's fine. But if otherwise, it just feels kind of awkward to be like, hey, good morning, how are you? Oh, by the way, I'm autistic. Like, there's no comfortable way to put it in the conversation just yet. So I think I'll kind of hold back unless it comes up or something. Then I'll cop to it. But yeah, that is my experience coming out at work. So I hope it works out well. Wish me luck. I need it, I think. I still feel a little bit worrisome every day. I'm super paranoid. Like, I just, my mind immediately goes to like all the worst things that can happen. So I do get worried and scared, even though there's probably nothing to worry about. But yeah, that's all I got. All right, thank you.